Alrighty guys, so it is now time to test out the bottom path submarine all the way up to the armor-piercing darts. So let's see how good they do. Alright, so let's just collect this chest first. Oh, interesting. Race pass. Oh, I'm trash at races, so I don't really do them. But, you know, race pass might be interesting at sometimes. Okay, now, I do want to address, again, there's stuff I need to address, because people are leaving comments about it. So, hold on, first, okay, 001, so twin guns, let's see how they do. Alright, group blues. I think I'll address that during the rounds, because the rounds is what we have more time for. Because I've noticed once I start talking, I get very distracted, and then I forget what I'm supposed to be doing. So, ooh, pinks. All right, group pinks. Now spaced. Space should do even better, right? Because he actually seeks them out. You know, he seeks out his targets. So having them spaced should be even better. Okay, black balloons. Alright, that's clear winner. Our faster balloon's gonna make a difference. No. Zebras. A little bit slower, but a little bit tankier. Oh my gosh, not even close. Alright, then let's give him MIB. So then he can hit lead balloons, and we get to try. Yep, he's in range. Cool. Lead balloons, spaced leads. They're just very slow versions of zebras. But I don't think it's the problem is not that the balloon itself is fast or slow, it's the insides are tough to deal with. Yep, no. Alright, so spaced lead. Now, airburst darts. Very nice. So now each of the things burst on impact, so those are going to do at least zebras. Holy shoot, that's so good. Rainbows, then? This guy destroys rainbows on his own! Oh my goodness. No way. Ceramics? Oh, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Not ceramics. Let's not exaggerate, okay? Ceramics, no. Space ceramics. As for grouped blooms, purples? Oh yeah, zebras. No, don't tell me he's gonna miss those. Wow. Leads? He's gotta beat the leads then, right? Leads are slower. Yeah, he does beat the leads. Okay, so he's on 2 group zebras. Alright, so 300, triple guns. Now he has a 3rd gun. Oh, wow. So let's try zebras again. He should definitely be able to beat it. Oh, yeah. Rainbows? I doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. Oh my gosh, he's so close. Kind of close, actually, but... So, grouped rainbow. Spaced... How about spaced rainbow? Wouldn't that be easier? Oh wow, yeah. Too easy, actually. How about ceramics? Can you beat ceramics like this? Kind of. It's tough. Nope, they still overwhelm him though, but kind of. Alright. Armor-piercing dart. What exactly does this do? Special armor-piercing darts gain increased damage and popping power, plus additional damage to Moab class moves. Wow, I didn't think it'd be so good. Oh my god. Okay, he melts ceramics. How about Moabs? Nope. Not spaced Moabs. How about grouped? Grouped rainbow. Let's start there. Well, that's quite a struggle, so let's try grouped ceramics. Nope, nope. Alright. Alright, now let's do the rounds. Okay, so so the thing is, I do admit I am a human. You're probably asking yourself, why am I saying this? Well, turns out I completely, and I mean completely forgot about those monkey knowledge. In the sense that the bonuses, like, I've been using the bonuses from monkey knowledge, but I don't have all the monkey knowledge, right? And so it kind of skews the results because the monkey knowledge is increasing over time, and I didn't even think about that in the tests. So some are going to be better than others just because of monkey knowledge. And honestly, I really don't know what to do with that. Because I think I kind of want to just consider going as is. Because the thing is, that I've already tested, well, yeah. I mean, it kind of skews the results, but like, at least it's somewhat consistent with some of the earlier, the earlier towers. Whereas if I decided to try and make it even and turn off monkey knowledge, right, for the remainder of the tests, well, everything just gets thrown off of scale, right? Just gets completely thrown off. Because these are tested with monkey knowledge. You see where I'm going with this? So it's kind of I'm kind of stuck in a hole where it's like, if I go one direction, it's skewed. If I go in the other direction, it stays still kind of skewed. So I'm probably gonna, I think I'm just gonna keep going with the monkey knowledge that I have, and I think just later in the future, like when there's like 2 or 3 updates later, not big updates, okay? I'm not saying I'm gonna test this like 3 or 4 years from now, but even if they're small updates, you know, like, I don't know, maybe 1 year from now, or 6 or 7 months from now, I might actually do this test again with all the towers, a very sped up version of it, because this is gonna, if I do this again, it's gonna be slow. Like, maybe an entire tower, all 3 packs, 1 video. So it's gonna be a little bit longer, but at the same time, I'm not gonna show you, like this, each individual round, you know, all the way there. So, because honestly, there are several things that, quote, like, go wrong with this testing. First is map choice. So, yes, the map is not ideal in the sense that I had to change maps for these water-based towers, and then have the land towers on Monkey Meadow. Then there's the aspect of monkey knowledge, and then now there's, yeah, it's a lot. So I think this is somewhat messed up. Again, the idea is to give people in general, okay? It doesn't have to be new players. Even good players might see a true potential out of this that they didn't see before. But the idea is that you get a basic, very general understanding of the tower. And I know I named my videos detailed tests, right? But it's not going to be perfect results. It's going to be a general framework based on the monkey knowledge that I have or don't have. Oh, round 19 lost his first life. Okay. Based on, you know, the monkey knowledge that I do or don't have at that moment. So in that sense, it kind of resembles new players. The map I pick is different, but what else? That's also a little skewed difference in rounds. But I try to place them in a spot that imitates it, so it stays, you know, close. What was the other thing? And yeah. Oh, the other thing I realized too is, so for the rounds, I do on medium mode. In Sandbox, I do easy mode. And apparently, so from what I read a little while ago, easy, medium, hard has different, oh, 23, okay. Has, easy, medium, or hard has different, balloon speeds, there we go. So, like, for example, on easy, the balloon speed is at 90%. In medium, it's 100. In hard, it's like 110%. You know, it's a 10% boost, and so on and so forth. So it's a little bit interesting to say. So in a way, this might make the rounds look worse than the actual testing because of this, you know, slight change in game modes. But basically, you know, there's all this combined that can alter the results of a tower, and so instead of having a very specific round that it can get to, like a maximum round it gets to, and stuff like that, take this with a slight grain of salt, like we call it. Okay, forgot about camo, but take this with a slight grain of salt and think, okay, this is the general zone in which he can get to, right? I'm also gonna MIB. There we go. So there. So basically, instead of seeing instead of seeing the T1 as like saying, okay, exactly around 19 before losing a life, and exactly around 23 before dying, it's gonna be, okay, well, for losing a life, it might be between, I don't know, 17 and 26. Okay. Or not for losing a life, sorry. Between like 17 and 21. Alright. That's a pretty decent range, I'd say, for that first tier. And then for dying, it's around 23, but it might be like maybe between 21 and 25. I don't know, something like that. Again, depends on those 3 different factors, and probably more that I haven't even thought of right now. There's a lot of different factors that go into this. So, again, this causes a bit more skewed results. But again, in the future, I'm going to retry this with a little bit more precise answers, where I'm going to try and limit the factors to only skill. Because again, there's people with more skill than I could ever have, right? I could do my very best, and it won't even come close to these people who I don't know how they do it. They come up with they pull off these crazy things, and it just works well for them, right? But no matter how hard I try, I can't do it. Ace Micro, goodness, when we test out the Monkey Ace, I'm not gonna do Ace Micro. I cannot do Ace Micro, like I cannot. But there are people out there who have memorized like the ace patterns, right? And so they're able to 35 lost his first life. But there are people out there who are able to do this like crazy ace micro and get it on top of the balloons to do maximum damage. So that, for example, is going to be a skill difference in terms of the rounds it can get to, or the balloons it can pop. You know, that's going to be a skill issue. But the aspect of monkey knowledge, and then the math difference, I will try and keep the next time we do this, I will keep it the same. So ideally, by the time I get to that future test, I should have every single monkey knowledge unlocked, or at least every single one that's like, you know, that pertains to the towers themselves, so like, not heroes. Oh man. Really? 38, okay, 38 he loses. Interesting. So let's start off on 35. Okay. Third tier, triple guns. Here we go. Let's also give him a B. So I have a feeling I'm gonna need it. There. Okay. So that's just what I'm thinking. The other question I want to address is why I do the tests this way, specifically. And honestly, the reason there's this idea that I've been getting, right? Like when I started the channel, a little bit before I started the channel, I was like, oh, man, see, I don't see this on YouTube. I see different types of tests, but you know, they're all like, for example, SJB did it's this T5 test. He didn't even test every single upgrade. He tested the T5s only, like which T5 should you go for. And all he did was pit them up against the signature rounds, like I call it. So I can't remember what this first one was, but for example, he tested out against, I don't know, like round 40, round 60, round 80, 39 loses his first life. Okay. So you know, 40, 60, 80. I think he tested out against round 76, 63. Trying to think. There's another one. There's 98 for sure. I know he tests out round 98. Round 95. 90? Maybe? 90, yeah. 90, yeah, I think it's those. So, he just puts, basically, takes the T5 and puts it against, a handful of different notoriously tough rounds. And I was like, okay, yeah, but how about the balloons? Like, well, how about round 49? Oh, wait, maybe he tested against round 49. I was like, oh yeah, but how about all the in-between? Like, he, for example, I don't know, beats 63, loses to 76. How about in-between? Where does he lose? I don't know. And that's something I thought he lacked in his testing. Then, you know, there are other tests that, and a lot of the other tests I saw were very similar to that. It was all about like signature rounds, or actually one of them kind of did a test that was, I can't remember who, but there's one that kind of did a test that was kind of in between, where he basically put it against certain types of balloons, or so Moabs or balloons, that he thought the tower did well against, and then he was talking about it. And I thought that was interesting. But I didn't go through this whole test that kind of encompasses... there was no test I saw that kind of encompassed everything at once, you know? There's always something lacking in their testing. I had to watch several different videos where I could get a whole big picture sense of this testing. Alright, let's see. Beat them up, beat it. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Alright, anyway, so my idea of this test, this detailed test, is only detailed because, in my opinion, I feel like it encompasses mostly everything for the tower, right? I feel like it encompasses mostly everything that the other videos mention, with a little bit of extra, what do I call it, like seasoning on it. I don't know, that makes no sense at all, but with a little bit of extra stuff on it. So, first I test out the balloons. I go from the beginning, red balloon, blue balloon, green balloon, and so on. Of course, pitting it to a certain balloon that I think it's more or less capable of beating, as to not waste time. But, and the idea behind that is, oh, what is that like? Because there's the layers of balloons. You know, I go from lowest layers to highest layers. So red balloon first, and then in order. Blue, green, yellow, pink, black, purple for speed, but usually if they do really well against black balloons, I skip straight to leads, or zebras, then rainbows, ceramics, then I get into like Moab territory and stuff like that. Oh man. 47? Really? Interesting round to lose on. Okay, and then, so, yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, okay, it goes against each of these layers of balloons. So which layers can he get up to? You know, how many layers can he pop of a certain quantity before he dies? You know, basically how much popping power does it get out of it. And so I kind of wanted to test that out in both, but there's also, I know there's certain towers that are focused on single target versus grouped damage. So I was like, okay, so we're gonna do a separate version of this, separate test for spaced balloons. So that's what you see there, the spaced in 20 space. And I only put 20 because I'm like, okay, that's a lot of space. It's a nice whole round number. It's satisfying. There we go. Right? So it's like, that kind of tests his almost single target, but not too slow. Because if it's way too slow, you don't want to rely on him because then he's going to make you lose. So it's like, okay, a decently spaced balloons that kind of test his single target damage. Okay. And then I have the grouped ones, so it's only one in spacing. So they all come out as a bunch. And it tests out the AoE of the tower. How well can they deal with multiple balloons at once? And the only reason I put 15 balloons specifically is because, well, first of all, for the space balloons, I did not want it to take years. And I could have changed them for spaced and grouped, but I thought that keeping them the same would result in, you know, less time wasted and trying to shifting it every single time. And then I feel like it's unnecessary. If he can pop 15 of those like that in a group or space setting, he can beat pretty much any number of them in a grouped or space setting. I feel like, you know, at that point it would be unnecessary to keep going, adding more, like 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, like that just doesn't matter. 15, I feel like is that nice threshold where it shows you how much it would do against 999 versus 15, same thing. Pretty much the same thing. And then I was like, okay. And then the idea from SJB, or if you know him as Super John Bombo, same one. But I know him as SJB. And so, for example, he would test to get signature rounds, right? But I don't know. But for example, again, beat 63, loses to 76. What about the in-between? What round, if you put this tower down in a game, what round would they get to? I don't know, because I know he beat 63, but he loses to 76. So that's a big range of error. Would he lose on 64, or would he lose on 75? No idea. So that's why I came up with the idea of the rounds. So I set up the rounds so that it basically tested how far can this tower go if you try and solo with them. You put him down as a solo. You want to save up money. You know, first of all, one, you know, how efficient is it based on how far can he go solo? And then depending on the type of tower, like a Moab Eliminator did really bad. It's not necessarily a bad tower, but in this specific type of testing, it is not the ideal candidate. So, you know, it does give you information. It basically tells you do not try and solo with a Moab Eliminator. Okay, but you also have to keep in mind he pops only Moabs, and so I kind of try and mention that as well when he does really bad and he's not a bad tower, you know. So that's my idea behind the testing. Hopefully that answers all those questions about why testing the way I did, or what makes it more or less scientific, or I think was one of the terms I noticed. Anyway, hopefully that answers your question, or your questions, I should say. Hopefully you enjoyed this bottom path submarine testing. Stay tuned for the sub commander. That'll be very interesting to see how he fares against these other tiers. And then, okay, one more thing too. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It's one click for you, but it means the world to me, or like to this channel, because I have multiple channels. It means the world to this channel, right? If people don't subscribe, the channel's gonna stay stuck as is, and then I can't, you know, improve upon it really. So if you do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it. But you know, stay tuned for other videos. Maybe watch the one that's coming up next. I don't know if it's one of mine. If it's not, go ahead and watch that too if you have time. There's a lot of good videos these days, but I'm going way off track. Point is, if you haven't already, please subscribe. It means a lot. Stay tuned for next video. I hope you have a really good day.